So as you start to move forward on that, you mentioned the consumer side, always trying to stay ahead and innovate. What's your process for vetting the next idea or the next thing of talking directly to consumers, reading the online reviews, talking with your team? What is that innovation process like within Reframe?
So it's like a combination of everything. We talk as a team. We talk to like 30 plus people every single week. So we are always kind of in touch with our customer in that sense. But we also want to we also come up with like bold ideas. Not bold in the sense that, it kind of puts the company in jeopardy, but bold in the sense that, we're willing to fail even if it means like significant costs to us. And I think we've had like over 150 iterations just in the last few months alone. And with every iteration, we've put out new features. I think 70% of them have failed. It's the 30% that we're actually looking for. And that's the thing, we're willing to fail with like some of these features and some of these updates just so that we can get the 1/3 of ideas that actually does work.
So I love that model of talk about failing fast in entrepreneurship, but you're putting a bunch of things out there, less about the ones that fail, more about to help you more quickly find the ones that do work. Give us some examples of ones you thought were going to be amazing that just failed.
I mean, there are so many of like, so like we had this whole toolkit idea, like, these meditations that we put out in these toolkits. As it happens, like nobody actually used it. And we had, so there were these motivational calendars that we created that like, people could do their to-do list. This would become their to-do list as well. No usage, right? Like, so we took it out. Something that we always do is like, when we put out a new feature, we kind of go all in and we release it to everybody. And my team's always been like, no. Like, what if like we get so many people coming in and like, all of a sudden, so when we put out coaching, what if there aren't enough coaches? And our approach has always been like, well, that's a great problem to have. Like, the real problem would be like nobody comes in and like, there are coaches. That's actually the real problem. So we always try to go big, even if that means like, we might have temporary nightmares in the sense that like there's just too many people to handle. And that's kind of worked for us because we're not so big that this is going to have some sort of like a damage to the company in that sense. But at the same time, like we're trying to like maximize on making the most out of like each feature release that we do.
Yeah, awesome.